Is there a connection between all of these starseed and indigo races coming here and the explosion in the incidence and rates of autism, ADD? Is there a connection there?
Yes, I would say from my communication and experience through the sessions that I do and through the dialogues, absolutely. From the Guardian perspective, they really talk about the process of the damage that has incurred in the neurological system of the human being. And because most of us down here have forgotten our connection and are unaware of how to repair our DNA that is connected to all these neurological plexus in our body, we have, let's say, all these nerve endings that are also etheric in our soul bodies. They're like receivers, energy receivers. And these energy receivers, when they're physically manifested, is our central nervous system. So from the Guardian perspective, the human being in the third dimension has had a lot of neurological damage. And because of this, many human beings cannot experience what it feels like to connect to God source, to connect to their soul bodies, because this is a sensory experience. It's a feeling and emotive kind of sensory experience. It's not a mental body process. So because of that disconnect that's happened to our neurological system, it's created a lot of damage in our race as a species. If we look at the global brain of our planet representing the collective mind of the human being, we have a lot of damage that we have created and had some help creating, no doubt, on this planet. So a lot of these beings that are coming through with different levels of gene pools and lineages have different neurological coding. And some of our children, you know, again, there is no such thing as children actually in the soul and in the spirit world, but coming here into a human body, a lot of our new consciousness children have these very developed and advanced templates, if you will, of neurological plexus. So from our standpoint, many times, because we don't understand the process of ascension and that our indigos and our new children are here to help us bridge the gap neurologically, we consider them impaired or damaged. From the Guardian perspective, that's not true at all. It's serving a purpose to bridge the gap neurologically by literally braiding new templates and new neurological plexus like a template that allows more beings on this planet to actually connect to higher frequencies or different frequencies, because it is those frequencies in our neurological system that allow us to actually perceive different languages. And these languages are coming from different levels of dimension. There's an intelligence that exists there. And until we activate our multidimensional sensors, we cannot perceive these realities exist. We cannot read that code or read that language. So from the Guardian perspective, a lot of these new children are here for that purpose, to retemplate the neurological basis of the human biology. And unfortunately, you know, with our medical system, the way we treat it, when we give synthetic chemical to an organic being, it's an insult to the nervous system. So this is definitely what I would call a controller agenda to suppress our children from actually activating their potentials, which is what they're designed to do and what they're in agreement to do with this planet. Because, again, from the Guardian perspective, indigos and starseeds are on this planet with one group purpose in mind, and that is evolution and ascension, to assist this planet in moving into a higher reality possibility.
That was an amazing explanation. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I thank you so much.
I'm hoping that will give a lot of consolation to people who are parenting these children right now, because there is a lot of speculation about the physical cause of autism. And I know a lot of parents who have vaccinated their children or put them through some other process, feel an intense amount of guilt that they did this to their child.
Yes.
And being able to see a bigger picture, I think, is really, really important.
I so agree with you. It is one area in the basis of the work I do that is definitely weighed very heavy on my heart. I have an incredible workload, and I've often wondered when or if my focus would move into that direction, because I too am very concerned and hold a great love for what I feel is my indigo family, my Blu-ray babies, so to speak, you know, and this understanding that that is transpiring has definitely been, it's weighed heavy on my heart, let's just say that. Not being a personal parent in this particular life, but feeling very much like a mother to many indigos on this planet. This was something that always concerned me, because certainly one thing we're not recognizing, I mean, generally with the third dimensional system is, you know, our educational systems, our medical systems, our social systems are not set up to support these indigo children that do not process data linearly. They process in a circular way. So it's like saying the third dimensional brain and the neurology that supports that binary brain, meaning a linear brain processing is seen a beginning and an end. There's a point A and there's a point B, and there's a perception that you're moving through time. And that's really the function of the third dimensional ego, what the ego system is designed to do. So when you get an indigo that's multidimensional, that's activating more centers, has more nerve endings, more receivers, they start processing not linear, like what the third dimensional intelligence of the ego conscious mind matrix is actually designed to process things linearly. They process in a circular fashion, which is how spirit works, which is how the energy of the cosmos works. So when we sit there in our educational system trying to force our indigo kids to read a book from beginning to end, it's almost torture for them, because they don't process this way. They process in a circular fashion, and so there is such a big need, you know, to develop interactive ways of education and helping to, you know, really cultivate our indigo children and activating their creative potentials, which happens in that circular fashion, not the linear. You know, we basically are educating our children through repetition and memorization, which shuts off the circular or the creative function. And in order for our kids to really activate their multidimensional potential, they need to be allowed to access that creative part of themselves. So I really hope we adult indigos can get productive in the next years, really laying some supportive, you know, education and curriculum, you know, more understanding for the parent, for the educator, for our social systems, because our children need, you know, guidance and support.
Yeah, I'm not entirely convinced that the current system supports anybody, let alone the just the indigos.